Hi everyone, my name is Moonshine and I'm the host of today's AMA. And we have an amazing project here with us today, Abatis, which is Abatis. And throughout today's AMA, we are going to see how we can buy, hold, and use the utility token to access military-grade cybersecurity for Web3. And also redeeming 20% of our token immediately for a Abatis license, staking, holding, and the future growth benefits of this token. So with that, we have Alexander here with us. So can you kindly introduce yourself and the team behind Abatis?
Yeah, sure. So thank you for having me here, Moonshine. It's nice to meet you and your community. So my name is Alexander Rogan. I'm the CEO and founder of Abatis, and we are a 20-year-old cybersecurity company who historically specialised in looking after military assets and critical national infrastructure. We are a team of extremely experienced cybersecurity practitioners who made the decision a while ago that we wanted to get involved in Web3. We see that the world is moving in the direction of full digitalization. And we also noticed that Web3 wasn't particularly secure. So we made a decision that we would come into the ecosystem and bring our security with us and give everybody the opportunity to have the same high level of security that governments and militaries have got. So that's who I am, and that's why we're here.
Nice. I'm happy to have you here, and I'm definitely curious to know more about Abatu. So the next question, could you tell us what Abatis is all about, the ecosystem, and what problem it targets and solves?
Yeah, absolutely. So Abatis is a cybersecurity software solution that protects computers, servers, your laptop. We have a smartphone coming out that will be protected with Abatis as well, and it stops all ransomware. It stops spyware. It even stops the zero-day attacks that are happening now, and it stops these before the bad guys even get the chance to deploy their malware. And the problem that we solve is the fact we think that the current methodology, the current way that our competitors work, we think that's broken because they allow an attack to happen. Abatis stops the attack before it starts. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely it does. So why do you say today's cybersecurity model is broken?
Because the current way that our competitors work, you have to have a victim before they realise that there is an attack underway. Yeah, so somebody's got to get hurt. Somebody's got to lose some money, their crypto or their data. Someone's going to get their hard drive encrypted, and they receive a ransomware note. And it's generally at that point that people realise that there is a problem and they've been attacked. And it's too late. It's after the event. And we actually think it's much better to stop an attack before it starts. And that's generally the question we ask. Do you want to stop this before it starts? Or do you want to play the game that our competitors play and allow the attack to happen and then go hunting for the bad guys once they're in your computer system? And we think that model's broken. It doesn't work. And the problem that our competitors have got is that the reason why we think they're obsolete is that the bad guys are now using the LLM, the large language models like ChatGPT, Grok, things like that. And they're using these powerful tools and technologies to write and deliver malware at scale very, very quickly. It's a broken model. Yeah, you can't use traditional security systems to protect against this sort of an attack. It's very much broken.
Okay. So the next question I have for you is, what inspired you to create a new security layer for Web3 and digital assets?
That's an easy one. Web3 runs on old Web2 defenses, and we've built Abatis to make Web3 truly secure from the system up. So we're describing ourselves as pre-foundational security, and by that I mean, if you look at you take a blockchain, and the blockchains all describe themselves as foundational security, but those blockchains have got to run on nodes, and those nodes could be desktops, laptops, servers, yeah? And that's very much Web 2. It's not Web 3, that is Web 2. So you can destroy or break a blockchain, even if it's using the latest algorithms, even if it claims to be quantum proof. You can disrupt that by attacking the endpoints that it works on. So Abatis has been designed to protect the fabric, the very architecture that Web3 works on.
Okay, so now who has tested or validated Abatis so far?
Some very, very interesting organizations. We were tested by Airbus, who are now the largest aircraft manufacturer in the world. They tested us for safety critical environments. This is robots and obviously things that go in the aircraft. We were tested by BAE Systems, which is one of the largest defense contractors in the world. Actually, a few years ago, they were so impressed with Abatis that they tried to buy it. So that was a definite validation of our technology. The largest defense contractor in the world, Lockheed Martin, they tested, and they've given us some really nice quotes. Actually, they said some very, very positive things about Abatis that we've got on our website. That's on the corporate website. So if you go to abatis.ch, because we're a Swiss company, so abatis.ch, you can see there with all of the other organisations that have tested or used or bought or rely upon Abatis. And the other big name is Bank of America, who again are one of the largest banks in the world. So we've got some very nice organisations in Web 2 who've said that Abatis does exactly what we say it does. Yeah, it stops cyber attacks before they start.
Okay, so now let's dive into the technological part of Abatis. What makes Abatis different from normal antivirus or EDR software?
Well, traditional antivirus will detect and react to an attack, whereas Abatis will protect the attack completely from starting, and it does this in its own unique way. So our competitors are relying on pattern matching, so they're looking for signatures in malware. Abatis doesn't do that. They are continually having to patch and update their processes to stay ahead of the bad guys, and Abatis doesn't do that. We will actually protect or prevent the execution of the malware completely, totally, without any signatures, without any updates. We don't even have to be connected to the cloud. We do not have to be connected to the internet to work. We've got one of the largest ports in Europe has got Abatis deployed on its cranes. There's about 500 cranes in Northern Europe. These are the huge, great things that lift containers off the ships. Every single one of those is completely separate. Abatis is deployed on all of those cranes. And they're not connected to the internet. So it's an incredibly flexible technology as well.
Okay. So now, you know, when we want to talk about the security aspect of it, how secure is Abatis? Like you also mentioned deterministic security. Can you simplify the term?
Yeah, deterministic security means certainty. So Abatis enforces rules at the kernel level, the kernel being ring zero, or the very heart of the computer. So we have rules, and those rules will say that we will not let anybody make any changes to the computer system or the operating system that Abatis is deployed on without us giving express permission. So we have to say, yes, we will allow a program to run rather than just letting that program run on its own. So when the bad guys turn up with their malware, we look at it and say, well, you know, we've not given you permission to operate here, so we will stop it. And we do that very, very quickly. So that's what deterministic cybersecurity is. You know, it's enforcing rules.
Okay. So about AGIS, what is AGIS and how does it work with Abatis?
Aegis protects the database layer. So Abatis protects the operating system and stops any changes being made. Aegis is a sister technology, if you like, and it stops bad actors from copying or stealing data, even insiders. Yeah, so you could have a bad actor that's been bribed or blackmailed to steal data from a machine. Well, Aegis will actually stop that from happening. It means that bad actors cannot come in. We call them like sideways attacks. So they cannot get into the computer system unless they literally walk through the front door. So with Aegis, we just need to make sure that we protect the passwords and we use multi-factor authentication. But we absolutely stop anybody breaking into the computer system and stealing that data. And we do this without encryption. And this is a very powerful thing, because it doesn't matter whether the bad actors attack the computer system with a quantum computer. It makes no difference. Yeah, Aegis will still protect the data, and Abatis protects the operating system. So when you've got the two technologies working together, you have a very, very secure computer.
Nice. So I think this takes us to the other aspect of the project, which is the token, ABTU. So can you walk us through what ABTU token is all about and how it connects to Abatis technology?
Yeah, sure. So ABTU is the Abatis utility token, and it powers the Abatis ecosystem. So it enables our supporters, our investors, our community that we're growing, to activate licenses and the services that we have that we will be delivering over the next few years as we grow our business. It's the currency, if you like, that people can use to buy into Abatis and to buy a security product that will stop people from stealing from them.
Nice. So how can someone use Abato in real life?
Well, right now we are just, literally now we're just launching sales of the Abatis license online. So, and we've got some really good deals. actually, because we've got Black Friday coming up. So we started a discount because we're looking to get adopters, and then because of Black Friday, you get like another 50% off. So you can buy a license right now for I think €50, and that will buy you security for Abatis for your laptop for 12 months. And you know, this is available right now online. That's the first product that we've got that people can use. Now at the moment we're selling for in fiat or in other cryptocurrencies. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum. We are minting our tokens this week. So from next week, we will, you know, people will be able to buy the tokens in the pre-sale, and they will be able to redeem 20% of the tokens that they buy in the pre-sale against any product that they, you know, any of the licenses that they might want to buy. But the ecosystem itself is going to grow, Moonshine. Yeah? So we have a smartphone that we're bringing out, the Abatis 78. This is probably the most secure smartphone on the planet. Yeah, it's if you go to abatis78.com, there are full details on there. But we will even have a wallet on the phone, and again protected by Abatis and Aegis. We've got services that we're bringing out for enterprise and for high net worth individuals. We will be standing up an insurance company in the City of London, a licensed insurance company where businesses will be able to buy cybersecurity predicated entirely on Abatis. We've got one of the largest insurance brokers in the world who will be delivering this product to their clients in Web 2, and obviously we'll be pushing that through Web 3 as well. And also we've got network devices that we're developing, so routers, servers, and firewalls. These are enterprise grade, so these are big pieces of equipment. We are working with Saudi Aramco and the King Fahd University in Saudi Arabia to develop Abatis 3.0. That's actually in the research laboratories at the moment. And Abatis 3.0 will be the same tech that you can buy now, but it will be augmented by artificial intelligence. So that's part of our roadmap.
Nice. It's really, really interesting to see what you guys have built so far, and you know, the kind of sectors and companies you guys are trying to integrate into Abatis. I think it's a very, very interesting one. And you know, most projects usually build the normal meme coin, but you guys are trying to build a token with utility and with use case. I think that's a very, you know, it adds value to your project overall. So with what you've explained now, you guys are looking to, you know, have impact in the market and stand out. So how can Abatu help Web3 exchanges, wallets, and operators to stay safe?
Sure. How can Ab2 help the exchanges and the wallets? Well, Abatis and Aegis will protect exchanges, whether that's a centralized exchange or a DEX. Yeah. So if the exchanges deploy Abatis, then they will be protected. We've looked at the forensics from all of the attacks against all of the major exchanges, everything that we could get our hands on, to be honest. Yeah, if we found out that, like we looked at Bybit, the recent one this year. So Bybit, I think, was the biggest hack ever. Yeah, I think $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum was stolen from that exchange. That exchange had pretty good security. but obviously it wasn't good enough. And we looked at how the bad actors got in, and this is one of the reasons why we thought we really could do very well in Web3, because we recognized early that Abatis would have stopped that attack before it started. And then we went and looked at the other exchange hacks. There was Coinbase who had an inside problem earlier this year. We would have stopped that. There was the hack against the Indian exchange again early this year. We would have stopped that. And then if you look at the fraud that was perpetuated a couple of years ago, was it FTX? And what about Abatis wouldn't have stopped the fraud, because it was like, it's like me trying to rob my own computer. Yeah. So Abatis wouldn't stop me from robbing my own computer, but what it would do, and what would have happened in the case of the fraud, it records everything that goes on. So there is a log of every activity that goes on the computer. So when the guy turned around and said, "Oh, we've had a problem, we've had a hack, somebody's come in and stolen the Ethereum or the Bitcoin or whatever it is," the investigators would have been able to go to the computer, looked at the logs, and they could have seen exactly who had done what. And you can't hide that. You can't change that. That's part of the way the program's written. So we give real visibility. And we one of the things that we do, as well as delivering security, is we enforce honesty. Yeah, the people who have stolen from their own exchanges in the past won't be able to do it anymore. Not if Abatis is deployed. And what we hope is that when we get onto one or two centralized exchanges, they don't get hacked. Others do get hacked. The ones that are getting hacked are going to come to us. And then you'll be in a position of where people who work with the centralized exchanges will want the surety, the security that Abatis delivers. So they'll ask the question, why are you not using it? Why do you not use Abatis? And probably the only ones that won't use it are the criminals. Yeah. So we think we can start to help the community help themselves to clean up the environment. And it's a huge problem at the moment, Moonshine. Yeah, there's too much bad stuff going on in the ecosystem. The more people we get to join with us, to believe in what we're doing, and we really want to clean up Web3. The more people that join us, the more pressure that we put on other organisations to do exactly the same. And over a period of time, we should be able to make this place a lot safer.
It's interesting to see that you guys have seen those problems and you guys are trying to offer a solution to it. And so going to my next question, what kind of revenue or growth have you guys seen so far?
Well, look, we've just arrived in Web3, yeah. So Web3 is very, very new to us. If we look at what we're doing in Web2, we're working with some pretty large organisations. We're involved. We're protecting logistics businesses, retail businesses. We're protecting banking, cash machines, point of sale devices. And the future is very, very exciting, I think, not just in Web3, but sort of everywhere. Yeah, the security problems that we solve aren't just in Web3. So as a business, we transcend both. Yeah, we can look after Web2, we can look after Web3. Since Web3 architecture is built entirely on Web2, that's quite a good thing. But the market itself, the projected market, the future market, is just enormous. At the moment, the world is spending probably 400 billion a year on cybersecurity, all of it. Yeah. McKinsey, the consulting company, quite recently said that they thought that the total addressable market will grow to between 1.5 and $2 trillion. So it's huge. It's a massive market. So for us, the potential is very, very exciting. We've got the ability to go into places where our competitors cannot go. Now, one of the things that I didn't mention is the size of our code. Yeah, our code is tiny. Because we only live in the operating system of the computer, we live in the kernel of the computer. We don't have to have a lot of code. We're very small. I'll give you an example. If you look at Microsoft Defender, if you printed their code out, font 11, you'd need 97,000 sheets of A4 paper. That's the equivalent of like 9 or 10 copies of Tolstoy's War and Peace, which is a huge, great book. Yeah, so you need 9 or 10 books to put Microsoft's Defender code. With Abatis, my code will fit on 1 sheet of A4 paper. And this means that our attack surface is very, very small. It means that when I go and talk to, I don't know, Saudi Aramco, Nvidia, doesn't matter, some of these huge organizations who are worried about their security, I can say, you can read my code. I'll let you sit down and read my code. And you can see that there's nothing unusual in there. There's nothing there for you to be worried about. There are no back doors. I can't hide anything in my code because it's so small. And because it's so small, it works so quickly. So when we actually stop an attack, we do it in less than 1/1,000,000th of a second. Yeah, so tiny code, very, very fast, and such a big market to look forward to, Moonshine. Yeah, it's a really exciting journey that we're starting.
Yeah, very interesting. So now I think we should talk about the sustainability now. And this has to do with the holders. Now, it was mentioned that a 10 redemption mechanism will be available. So how does that help token holders?
Okay, so if we make a sale outside of Web3, so I don't know, we make a sale to a government or a large enterprise and they don't want to pay us in ABTU, for every fiat sale that we make, 10% of the value of the fiat sale will be brought back into ABTU. And this way we can sort of reduce the supply. We reduce the supply, we increase the scarcity, and then we drive the demand. And we will only ever mint once, and we will only ever mint 1 billion tokens. And of the billion tokens that we mint, 500 million of those will be released for sale and trade to the public.
Nice. So about the token scarcity, how does it work? Will there ever be more than 1 billion tokens, or will it be
No,
done
never.
manually or automatically?
No, never. Its supply's fixed forever. Yeah. No inflation and no extra minting. That's a decision that we've made. It's a billion is a lot. Yeah. I mean, when we conceptualized this, when we sat down and we planned what we were doing, at one point I was a little bit worried that we might run out. But all of the modelling that we've done, no, we're good to go. And the likelihood is the value, because of the scarcity, the value of the token will appreciate. So it means that when you buy a product, then you buy insurance, or you buy a phone, or you buy a license, it'll cost you less ABTU utility token. So if the token's worth a dollar, and at the moment it's worth 10 cents, obviously, if you're buying a license and you've got tokens that you've paid 10 cents for, it's going to cost you a lot more tokens to buy the license than it will do after we've listed, and perhaps the token's worth $1 or $2 or $3, whatever it is. So I think as the market grows and as it matures and Abatis becomes more established and recognised, and the demand grows, you will use less tokens to buy more product. I hope that makes sense. That's my tokenomics.
Yeah, I kind of got broken at some point because of probably network issues. So sorry about that, but I'm sure the rest of the audience probably would have been able to catch that. I only caught a little amount of it. So would you mind going over that again?
Yeah, sure. So my point is that the number of tokens will not increase. As we make sales, we will be using tokens. So tokens will be taken out of the ecosystem, and they will likely go into treasury. Yeah. So that the supply will reduce. As the supply reduces, the demand for the token should increase. Now, we are positioning ourselves as the third pillar of Web3. There are 3 pillars in Web3, one of which is security. Security is hugely important. Yeah, if you've got no security in Web3, then it's never going to progress. Yeah, it will never grow much beyond what it is at the moment. So if we are looked at in the same way as perhaps you'd look at Ethereum, or you'd look at the Binance token. Yeah. So one is liquidity, one is the power behind. Ethereum is like the power behind the blockchain behind Web3, and the third thing you've got is security. So people will always need security. There is always a demand for security. So people buy the tokens now, and they can buy them in the pre-sale at 10 cents per token. When we list, we expect there to be a demand, and it's likely that the value of the token will appreciate. People in the community can do their own modeling. Just go ask ChatGPT or Grok or one of the AIs. Take our white paper, put our white paper into your AI, and ask the question. What do you think is going to happen to this? To the value of this token. As the value of the token appreciates, it means that when you buy something, you will use less tokens. Yeah. So answering my own question was: is it a problem that we've only minted 1 billion tokens and we're only allowing 500 million out onto the market? The answer is no. Yeah, there is enough tokens there. And because the value is likely to appreciate because of the scarcity and the demand and the utility, it means that you'll get more value for your token over the years as the ecosystem grows. So I hope you heard that clearly. I don't want to say it again, Moonshine.
Yeah, I did. I did catch that. Thank you so much. And sorry about that. So I think soon we'll be taking some community questions. So to wrap up the back and forth questions we've been having so far, could you walk us through the vision of Abatis and Abatu over the next few months that are coming? And what kind of partnerships are you guys looking to have?
Sorry, what kind of what?
Partnerships. What kind of partnerships are you guys looking to have?
Well, we've got in the roadmap. we've got the new products that we're looking to bring out. So we've got the smartphone, we've got the network devices, we're starting the insurance company, and we think probably by the end of next year, early part of 2027, we'll be releasing Abatis 3.0. And this is where Abatis 3.0 will be working with an artificial intelligence. So at each stage of our development, as we bring out these products, we will release more tokens into the market. So right now, we've got 5% of the tokens that are available as part of the pre-sale. From January to probably March, it will still be on pre-sale, so the prices will still be kept relatively low. 5% there again, and when we go to list, which we will only list when the market is good. At the moment, the market is very poor. It's not good at all, so it wouldn't be good for us, and it wouldn't be good for our community if we listed now. But if the market is improved, say March next year, and we listed then, we will release more tokens, and at the same time, we will probably be bringing our phone out, the Abatis 78 phone. So at that point, we will probably have 20% of the tokens available. They'll be listed. And then as more products come in, each time we bring out a new product or a new service, we will release more tokens. So we're being very, very careful to make sure that we don't flood the market. And we'll be careful to look after the value of the token. What we don't want to see is a huge boom and then a bust. Yeah, so we've got some clever people working for us who've done this before, and we can make sure that we can keep something nice and stable, and hopefully it'll climb.
Nice. So before we head over to community questions, is there any final thing you'd like to add to it?
Yeah, I mean, probably the single most important message I want to get over to the community is that we think as a business that prevention is the future of cybersecurity, and Abatis and our ABTU utility token will make that future secure, sovereign. By sovereign, I mean it means that you own your own data, and by stopping people stealing your data, your information, or your digital assets, the currencies, the cryptocurrencies that you hold, we stop those from being stolen, and we'll make that future profitable for everybody. That's our message.
Okay. So are you open for community questions now, Alexander?
Absolutely. Bring it on. Come on. Let's hear it.
Benova, you have been unmuted. You can ask your question now, mate. Benova, are you there? Okay. Let's have Elsin. Elsin, you have been unmuted.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm hoping I'm audible enough because chance to be.
I can hear you, Elsin. No problem.
Great. Alexandra, it's been really great listening to you so far for question kind of things around the team's versatility and potential for expansion. I want to you guys actually thinking about it, but so we absolutely on and
Elsin, you're echoing. It's echoing in the background.
Yeah,
maybe adjust or something.
I'm getting every other word. I can only hear every other word. I don't know if you can hear him clearer, Moonshine.
No, I can't really.
Is it okay now?
Much better.
All right. So I was saying that was basically on the token versatility and its potential for expansion. I want to know what you thinking about its long-term value. So we have to run Ethereum and Polygon. How will its utility adapt for offline or device embedded use cases like the smartphones and routers?
Okay, you'll have to excuse me, Elsin, because I'm not sure I've heard all of that. What I heard was, what do I think the future value will be? Is that correct?
Yes.
No. Was that what you were asking, Elsie?
I was also talking about the my question basically is, with Aptu running on Ethereum bridge to Polygon, how will its utility adapt for offline or device embedded use cases, smartphones and routers?
Oh,
Did you
okay.
get that?
Well, yeah, I heard that. Okay, I think I can answer that. Yeah, look, the smart contract is the smart contract. Yeah, so and that's the agreement that we've got with our supporters and our investors. That's one thing. Abatis sits on the architecture that supports all of Web3. Yeah, all of the nodes. Yeah, we can go on all of the nodes, all of the endpoints, all of the servers, all of the laptops, all of the computers that are used in Web3. It's Web2 architecture, so it doesn't matter what smart contracts we've got. What we're protecting. We are part of the architecture. We are holding up everything in Web3. That's our intention. So it doesn't matter whether we are an Ethereum smart contract, yes, but what we are and what we protect are different. If that makes sense.
Oh yes, yeah, it does actually.
Excellent.
So
Look, we are agnostic. Yeah, we'll protect everything. Yeah, every blockchain that's out there. We've signed some memorandum of understandings with some of the newer layer ones who are working to make themselves quantum proof. Obviously, Q-Day is a big worry. When Q-Day comes along and people have got their hands on quantum computers, then historic algorithms and historic cryptography will not work. Yeah, so some of these blockchains have recognized already what Abatis can do. So we're talking to some layer ones about embedding Abatis into the blockchains, but that's down the road. That's part of the roadmap. And to be honest, if you are able to protect the architecture, you won't need to embed us in a layer one anyway. Yeah, you won't need to. If you can stop the bad actor getting into your computer system or attacking your node, that's enough. Yeah, we can break that cycle. We can stop these bad guys doing what they're doing.
that's really good. I'm actually eager to learn more about its plans for expanding it. So that will be all for me. I am sorry about the network connection.
No, we're good. No problem. It's good to talk to you. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Elsin. I think the whole network stuff is coming from you, Alexander. So probably when we talk, you kind of mute your mic and then you're mute back, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, because I think I'm also echoing, so it helps. Yeah, thank you so much. So the next person we have here is Jordan. Jordan, you can kindly unmute yourself to ask a question.
Thank you so much, Moonshine, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Alexander, my question is going to be, concerning your community and stuff like that. I just wanted to ask, many Web3 users, they rely on reactive security tools. How will your project Abatis educate and onboard, these users? How are you going to embrace them and basically make them, how are you going to educate them concerning your token utility and the preventive model?
That's a fantastic question, Jordan. And that's probably the biggest challenge that we've got, education. Yeah. We are telling people to unlearn 20 years of cybersecurity practice. It's a big change. So a huge part of what we're going to be doing is education. And, we'll run workshops, we'll run like AMAs, like this, where we will actually talk about what we do. We will share our experiences. We have got on the corporate website, abatis.ch, there are many white papers there about about cybersecurity, about the verticals where we exist. So I'll invite anybody that's interested to go and read those. The actual onboarding process itself is really simple. Abatis is designed to be a single-click installation. So you buy the product, you get sent a license, you download it, you recycle your computer, you turn it off and then back on again. And in that time, Abatis embeds itself in the kernel of your computer. So I don't know, you're on a Windows 10 machine or 8 or whatever, yeah? Abatis will embed itself and then it will start protecting you immediately. So your return on investment is immediate. And if you want to make a change to your computer, it's very simple. Yeah, you just open the gate. You want to download something. If you try it with Abatis working, it will stop you. Yeah, you cannot download programs. If you want to download the program, you've got to think, now I need to switch Abatis off. I need to open the gate. I will then download the program that I want to download. And I hope you know where you've got that program from. I hope you trust that program. I hope you know that it's been tested. Yeah, we live in a zero trust world, so we don't trust anybody. I won't put anything on my computer until I know that there's no malware in there, there's no backdoors in there, there's no spyware. So, but the actual process itself is incredibly easy, Jordan. Yeah, the single installation on a machine can take 90 seconds. That's it. We've got a video somewhere on YouTube, I think, where we did this. We just showed how we do it. Yeah, you download the program, you disable any antivirus that you might have running on your computer already, and then you download Abatis, turn your computer on and off. 90 seconds later, you're protected. So it's a really simple install. But the challenge is going to be educating the world. Yeah, it's not just Web3. I mean, it's Web2 as well. It's you can imagine what it's like going to a bank and they spend, I don't know, 100 million on their security, and we rock up and tell them, well, it doesn't work, does it? And they don't like it. Yeah, nobody likes being told that they've spent the money in the wrong place, or they've been looking in the wrong direction. But that's just life, I suppose. That's what's happening. But thanks for that. It's a really cool question.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate the way you answered the question in detail. That's all from me. I'll be dropping the mic now. Thank you so much.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jordan. So that's all the question we'll be taking for today's AMA. I know there are a lot more questions, but time is not on our side. So with that, Alexander, could you give the concluding statements of this AMA?
Thank you very much for having me, Moonshine. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we've had some good questions from your audience as well. So, and look, you know, we're live on all over the place. So if anybody's got questions and they want to ask, I can't promise to answer it immediately, but if they want to reach out, I'll do my best to answer any questions offline as well.
Okay, sure, guys, do well to join their Telegram channel. And as Alexander said, if you have questions, you can go over there and ask a question. It was a very interesting one with you, Alexander, and I really appreciate how you dived into details about your project. It shows you guys are well involved in what you're doing, and you also have the interest of adopters, users, while building your project. And to see that you guys are actually solving a problem, bringing solution to it, it's another interesting part of it. So I really appreciate you, and I hope in the future would also have you here at GoldDiggers again. So thank you so much. So everyone, have a nice day. Thank you so much for joining today's AMA.
Been a pleasure, Moonshine, and yeah, I'd love to come back later. No problem. You have a great rest of your day, and everybody stay safe.